Everyone, it's Keren here and welcome back. I'm so glad to be here and I'm going to be creating this altered box. This is the lid of the box. Now it doesn't have the bottom here because I needed the other side of the box to show you the second project. So it's going to be two lids, and I guess it can be hung as a, you can hang it as a artwork or just you do something else with it. But on a regular basis you could easily just do the box itself. It's just because I needed two lids for it, and I only had one heart-shaped box. This is a Lindor box, heart-shaped. I think it's from last year's Valentine's Day, and I kept it. And basically, I wanted to alter it. So I thought, hey, I can use the new waxes, and I just really wanted to do something really simple. A really nice idea to do to alter something in a very simple way. So I'm going to put this one aside, and I'm going to show you the first thing that I did. So I actually took a real doily. This is actually an old doily. This used to be my grandmother's. And when she passed away, I took a lot of her doilies and things like that, and I use them in my artwork. I think it's beautiful to just have a piece of her, which I was really close to her, in my artwork. So this is just something that I end up putting in, and I really like that because of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 3D gel, matte gel. You can also use the soft matte gel. Hold on, let me show you. I could use either one of those to do it, to glue this on top. But since I'm using 3D gel for the other objects, I'm going to do that as well for this one. So all I'm going to do, and I don't want to cover everything, I just want the doily to kind of give the texture here. So that's why doilies is such a good thing to use, because they can give a lot of texture. So I'm going to add this onto the top first. And yes, I could have done this in advance, but I really wanted to show you the lid of the box to really see that it is a regular chocolate box. I find it fun to keep all these boxes. Last year, my husband went to Costco and he bought a star-shaped box, and I made a project with it as well. He actually bought the chocolate especially because he knew that I would want the box to create a project, and I did, and I have it on my YouTube channel. Now I'm just going to turn this around so I can glue the sides as well. So it's really easy. I mean, any type of texture would work, any type of fabric would work. So I'm just wrapping it around. And if you don't want this to show, you can always cut it up. So you can cut it off. I mean, it might be hard to open the box otherwise, but because I'm doing this as just as a lid, not so much as a box, it doesn't really matter to me that it's basically inside here. But again, if you don't like that, just cut it off and you're good, basically dry. And this is it, right? Like, so it's really easy. And there it gives it beautiful texture. The only thing is not glued over here. So while I let this dry, while this is drying, which it will take a few minutes, I mean, it will take a while, but I can heat set it. But in the meantime, I can do something else. So I'm going to move the waxes. These are 4 of the new waxes. I actually have 5. I don't have all the colors yet. I will purchase them though, definitely. But I have them here, and we're going to use a few of those, of the new ones. I'm really excited. There's such good colors. In the meantime, I want to show you some of the new redesigned molds. Well, they're not that new, but they're new enough. This one is called In Bloom, and the other one is called something Leaves, and I don't know, I remember something Leaf Fronds, I think. I don't know, I don't remember. But these ones, they're 2 of my favorite ones, and I just was really happy to get these because I love flowers and I love anything like this with flower, butterflies, leaves. So I was really excited to do that. And I'm not going to show you how to create the molds today because that would take too long and I needed them dry. Prima has a great new molding material that you can, that is similar to regular clay, it's different than the other one, the fiber paste that they had before. But I actually use another type of resin to create these, just because I don't have the modeling material yet. So I created the bloom, which is this one. And I also created this leaf out of this one. So this is the one. It was very similar to this, and sorry, it's hard to see because of the whiteness. Oh, there it is. Okay. So there is the two that I'm going to use. So these are the two. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-paint them in black just to save myself some time. So I'm going to add myself here some of this. There we go. So, I mean, this is not a new technique, nothing new about this. I just want to show you, the show today is more to show you the new products. I mean, this is a very simple technique that Finn taught originally a long time ago. And I'm just doing, just to show you the colors of the waxes. So I'm going to grab a paintbrush. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm just giving this one a nice coat of black gesso. It's actually quite a thin flower. I don't know if you can tell the thinness of it, which is nice because it's not too heavy. The resin makes it light, but the clay will do the same thing. So the nice thing about this is it's not heavy, and you can easily apply it to a canvas or to a box or even to paper. I wouldn't be surprised, a thicker paper or a chipboard, you could be able to do that. Now, when you're painting, make sure you remember to paint the sides. I always forget the sides. Redesign has some really nice molds. There's so many different kinds. There's some new ones as well with clocks and other images. There's some smaller flowers too. You don't have to get this big one as well. If you like to decorate smaller boxes or smaller things, then you can get the smaller ones as well. I'm actually going to paint the back as well, a little bit, at least where the leaves are, because they might be sticking out. And I didn't realize that on the other one, that some of it was showing in the back. So if you're doing this as a box, make sure that you paint a little bit of the back as well, because otherwise it will look white where the whole box is black. The new redesigned modeling material is so much easier to use. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I've ordered it, but it hasn't come in yet. So it is much easier to use than the paper paste. I had a really hard time with using the paper paste in the past, so it is much easier that way. Okay, so I'm going to put these aside. These are already done. And I want to do the same thing with this, but I have to dry it first. And the nice thing about these waxes is that they actually look different on black or on white. So they change colors depending on the background. So now I'm going to paint everything in black as well. So if black is not your style, definitely go ahead and paint everything in white. And you can use it. The color might not be exact as what you see, but it will look very nice as well. And you can pick other colors. So wax can go on either black gesso or white gesso. It just looks different. On black gesso, it looks more metallic. The metals show, the shininess shows more. Now to get into the nooks and crannies in between the areas here, what I do is I just kind of pounce the paintbrush just to make sure that I don't have any areas where I missed. And it's really easy to do. Now, if you're just doing a lid and not doing the other side, you could either paint it just in black and add a little bit of wax, or just leave it the color that the box came with. But I like altering all of it. Just makes it look really nice, and it's a really nice present. It's handmade, so I'm sure people will love it. And the nice thing about gesso that it dries really quickly. I should have put this on something, that way I don't have to clean as much. The other thing about gesso is that it's dry, it dries matte, so it's a great base for something else. Okay, just want to do the sides here. It's harder to paint over texture. So I'm literally pouncing on top of it, because otherwise the bristles don't get in between, if that makes sense. Okay, there we go. So basically everything got covered, and I'm going to dry the actual flower as well, which I'm going to bring back over here. That way I can glue it to the top. And then we're going to work. Once it's glued, then I can work with the waxes. So now that we have these ready, this is what I meant by being able to use the 3D gel again. Again, you don't have to do that. You could use like other gels. You could use the gloss, the heavy gel, which is okay as well. I just find that it's glossy, and I prefer matte gels, and just because I don't like the shine here. You can put the flower anywhere you want, kind of rearrange it and play around with it until you're happy with where it should go. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to remove the stem. I have to cut it. I'm just going to remove the stem because I want it close to the flower, and I can't do that otherwise. So it's really easy to remove the stem, and then that way I can put the one right here. It fits perfectly right there. So now I'm going to take the 3D gel, and I'm going to put a really nice amount of it. You want to be very generous with it so it sticks. And yeah, it might take longer to dry, but that's okay. It does take about 24 hours to fully dry. So I'm kind of centering and focusing everything here at the top, and just adding these here. So you see there's some gel here. You can clean this up. It won't show, but you can always use a paintbrush to kind of get in there, which I'm going to do just to show you. So you can take a smaller paintbrush, like something like this, and you can stick some black gesso in there and mix it up. So I saw I missed some areas over here, so I'm just going to quickly add them. Now you could glue the thing first. You could glue the pieces first and then paint them in black. I've done that many times. It all depends on how much time you have, how much patience you have, but it can be done either way. So now I'm just like making sure that there's no white anywhere. And then I'm going to just quickly give it a quick dry again. And now I have the whole thing set up. Now I can see, you can see some of the red underneath, although it will probably not show once I add the wax, but still I don't like looking at it. So okay, I'm going to dry this layer again. This is the problem with mixed media, that you have to be patient and you have to dry a lot. Now, if you're at home designing, it's not a problem. But when you're doing this on a live show, I always find it very stressful because I want to get everything done in the time allotted. Now is the fun part, or for me at least, it's the fun part, to do the waxes and to add color. Now, there's a few colors that I have. This is called Heather Hills. It's a very light purple. It's very pretty. I'm going to show you how it looks. So now I'm going to show you the colors and how they look on. Some of them will mix with others and they will look different once mixed. Then we have, this one is, gosh, I can't see, Sweet Rose. Oops. So I'm just putting them like this. Then I have, this one is the Electric Violet. This is really pretty. I love this one. It's very, very bright. And I also used this one a little bit. It's the Blue Lagoon. I can't wait to get the other ones. There's some ones that I really want, like the Peacock one, and also the, there's another mint one that looks really cool. I also have this one, but it's called Firebird, but I'm not going to be using it today. So I want to start with the lighter color I want to show you. Now I'm going to be using these dabber brushes or wax brushes. I don't know what they're called. Every site calls them something else, but they're very good to pounce on. So look at this pretty color. It's hard to see. There's a lot of light here. So this one is like a lilac green, lilac purple. It's very, very pretty. Now, just to show you the pink one, for example. I'll show you on this side. It's very similar to it, but let me just, I want to clean the brush so then I can, that doesn't show so much purple, and it shows you more of the pink. Here we go. Okay, so they look very similar when you're seeing them online, but they're actually quite different. And the next one I want to show you is the blue. So I'm going to show you all of them, and then I will mix them together. The blue is beautiful as well. So look how pretty that looks. So I'm starting with the lighter colors just because once I put the darker colors, it's going to be very hard to mix everything. Now you can also apply these with your fingers. So for example, I'm going to start with the lighter, and they're very, very soft. I have to say they're softer than the other ones that we had. So this, I want to add just little bits of it. So you can add them with your fingers, but I like adding them both ways. So it doesn't really matter which way you do. And they give a really beautiful effect. So there's the purple is beautiful. I love that. Okay. Let's add some blue with this. And maybe some pink. So, I mean, this is really, really simple to do. I'm really not doing much. I'm just pressing on the brush and just creating texture. Just creating color, I meant to say, on the texture. So any type of texture would work here. I'm doing the sides. And this is what I meant by you are being able to do the other side of the box, the inside of the box. You could just paint it black and then just do like a smooth, what do you call this, paint or whatever on top, like a smooth layer. That's what I meant to say. One of the other reasons why you want to put black in the background is because black forms the shadows. So you could definitely do a dry brush technique on this and not cover everything, and that would give it shadows. Like you see in here, there is the shadows. You could go and pounce in there with some color, but I like it that it kind of gives it depth. And again, this is what I meant before by doing this. If you have this in black, which it's not really black, you can cover this as well, but it's too wet for me to even try, so I'm not going to. But on a regular basis where you can actually let things dry, if you don't want this to show like that, make sure you paint everything here in black and add wax. And it does look better if you cut everything around, okay? So just make sure you add the glue all the way to the edge, but cut the edges. Right now, I mean, I didn't have enough time to do all that. But it's a good way of creating something very even. So if you're creating a box at home, you go and that's a good way of doing that. Make sure that you look at the back as well, because sometimes we forget to look at the back and it looks really, really weird when you turn it around. So what I wanted to do is that it was really purplish blue, but I really wanted it to make it a little bit more pinkish. So what I did at the end is that I ended up grabbing two of the older colors. So I grabbed the old silver and the rose gold. Now these ones, I am going to use my finger to add them because I only want a few highlights, especially of the rose gold. So I'm literally, you see how it just adds a little bit of it. And you don't have to do this part, but I just wanted a little bit of pink onto this. Now I find the consistency of these new ones a lot softer than these older waxes, maybe also because I've had them longer, so they've maybe dried up a little bit, but even when I remember using them before, they seem to be a bit more dry, which is good. I prefer when they're a little bit more dry, and maybe these will dry over time. Now with the silver, I just want to add a few more highlights here, just to kind of frame everything. I'm going to add some here. So along with the other colors, I like this because you can combine them with the old waxes as well. So that's it. I mean, that's basically it. Like, it's super, super simple. And let me see, they're pretty similar. I think I added more purple in this one. Let's see if they're similar. Well, no, they're pretty similar. The doilies are not the same, but the same idea. You see here, you can see more of the darker areas under the doily, while here the strands were thinner, but the same idea. I think I even added a little bit more purple. So what I did is I took some of this purple and I kind of went underneath here to create a little bit more shadow. And you can do that as well. You can create that shadow if you want. There is like smaller brushes of this one. Like you can, I don't know where they are right now, but you can get yourself into the nooks and crannies over here. So it's super, super easy to do. And such an easy way to alter a box and give it away as a present. So I hope you enjoyed it. I mean, this was just a little taste of the new waxes. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my project. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends on social media. For more inspiration, subscribe to the Prima channel and to my channel. And have a wonderful day. Bye.